Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. That's what we're starting with today, not a question. Well, okay, a little bit of a question. Have you ever heard of a Jesus juke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
So a Jesus juke, for people who don't know.
This is like real insider.
Yeah, it's weird Christian stuff.
2,000 youth culture.
Yeah, but as soon as I explain it to you, you'll be like, 100% I have seen this happen.
Was this John Acuff?
Yeah, I think it did originate with John Acuff.
Okay.
So a Jesus juke is when somebody takes something that is clearly a joke and then makes it super serious and about Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? So somebody makes a joke about, how there's so many people missing from church this Sunday morning because it's the Super Bowl. And then somebody goes, don't you wish people cared about Jesus as much as, right? Something like that, right?
It's like the Debbie Downer of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that's clearly supposed to be like lighthearted and funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So last night at youth group, we had a slight incident. We had the Rejoice Sunday School class made us bake potatoes, which is super fun. And we had a slight incident. Someone went back for seconds. They were very excited. And then there was a jostling moment, and the potato ended on the floor. And it was sort of like out of the way. So everyone just walked away from it. You know what I mean? Like,
so there's just
because it wasn't like in the walkway, so nobody saw it.
Oh, so there's just a smashed potato over here on the side.
It was just like on the floor in the fellowship hall. So I am alerted to said potato, and kind of we figure out what happened. And there's the person who dropped it and the person who sort of like accidentally, maybe on purpose, it's unclear, instigated what preceded the dropping. Okay. So I said, will y'all both go please pick up the potato? Okay. And they were like, well, they both had a reason why they shouldn't have to be the one to pick it up. Obviously, right? Everybody's like, we're joking. It's very like lighthearted. Yeah. And I go to like walk out of the room because I have said to go pick it up. They're like, we're done with this conversation. That makes me sound so like sweet and like, but that's what happened. I was like, no, y'all need to go pick it up. You could both do it. Go pick up a potato, please. I turn around to walk out, and from behind me, I hear, why should I have to do it? And without really thinking, I turned around and I looked at the students and I said, what does love require of you? Go help with the potato. And I Jesus juked them.
You got him.
I did, because that's what we're talking about today. What does love require of us? You didn't know how I was going to get there from a baked potato.
It's like, where is this going to go?
But that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
That's what we talked about on Sunday.
What does love require? That's so good.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm so glad that came back so well.
Well, and it was really funny because you could totally tell who paid attention in worship.
Yeah.
Because some of the students laughed at me.
Like half the room got it. Half the room was like,
what is happening? Why is
what
she
a weird question.
Why did she say it like that? What does love require of you? Let's find out. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
I'm Becca. I'm the pastor of family ministries here at Katy First.
And I'm Mark. I'm the senior pastor here at Katy First.
Welcome to Katy First Family Podcast, where we offer ideas, inspiration, and encouragement to help you and your family grow as joyful disciples of Jesus Christ. So we started our new worship series right after Easter.
Yeah.
Now, forgive me, I got confused. What is the title of the new worship series now?
Yeah, well, it was going to be the Tina Turner
What's Love
Got to Do with it.
But instead
I changed it to God is Love.
I like that though.
I think that was a little more broader.
I like that it flows. I mean, look how nicely that flows. A very good God, God is love. Look how lovely that flows.
Yeah.
I like it. So that's our new worship series in 1 John.
Yep.
Talking about God is love.
Yeah. The whole book, I'm really excited for us to look at it because if you like the idea of love, we're going to talk a lot about it.
But if you hate love. Just kidding.
You need to read this book because
you're wrong.
Yeah. But as I mentioned last week, there's another kind of side angle of I'm excited to just sort of preach through a short book like this that actually, as nice as the idea of God as love is, there's also like some other parts of this letter that I think when we read it sort of make us even recoil a little bit, just because maybe it uses language that triggers us, or it uses words that you're like, what is this all about? And so I'm also sort of excited to sort of wrestle with the text a little bit. But this week was just sort of setting the whole framework of what it means for us to follow this Jesus. And I mean, I don't mind critiquing my own sermons, and I don't mind other people critiquing my sermons for that matter. That is a true fact. I love good feedback. But there was just so much this week, and it was one of these ones where I got really caught in the weeds of like a lot of details of like, what do I want to emphasize? Like, it's a real
there was
nerdy,
a lot you could have gone.
There's a lot, and so like, I wanted to end with that question though of like, what does love require of us? Because it does sort of set up the whole next rest of the letter and how love plays out, and John goes like into very specific detail. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
If we're sort of uncertain about that, but this is just it's a great letter that is really trying to pull us back, or at least John was trying to pull back the community he was writing to these things that Jesus said and taught, like everything that happened before the cross still really matters. Like, and sometimes I think we can get so focused in on the cross and it's important, and Easter, that we forget like all that teaching and stuff on the front end wasn't just lead up to it, but like it's still the core of what's it look like. And I think a lot of that is John saying all those things that Jesus said like still really matter and how we live them out. And for him, that's love. And we'll get to why love in particular, I think, is the most important thing. He emphasizes it. But yeah, so what does love require of you? I would love to say I came up with that question, but I heard another preacher use that one time, and I thought that's a great question. And so I thought, I think that's where I want us to be wrestling. What does love require of us?
Yeah. I think it's such a good question for us at Katy First. Like, what does that require of us? I feel like everybody's still kind of thinking about, what's next. And I think it's exciting to think about that in that framework. What does love require of us to do now? To do next? I love that. And it was kind of cool that this was, no, it wasn't an accident, but I loved how it worked out that this was Confirmation Sunday. And so to have that kind of be, okay, so because often when we talk about confirmation, and just in case you're not familiar, not you personally, Mark, I know you're familiar, but if somebody listening doesn't know what confirmation is, in the United Methodist Church, we offer confirmation. In this church in particular, we offer it to 8th graders and up. As a way for students to claim for themselves, to confirm and affirm their own faith. God doesn't have any grandkids, just kids. So you have to decide for yourself. And so we offer that for 8th graders and up. And, if they were baptized when they were infants, or if they haven't been baptized at all, if they were baptized as infants, it's their chance to claim for themselves those promises that their parents made. And then if not, then they'll be baptized and they'll claim it for themselves then and there as well. And so it's just this really kind of a special day. It's not a sacrament. I know it is in other like churches and denominations. So it might be worth saying that it's not a sacrament in the United Methodist Church, but it is a really special and holy time. And it was really cool to see our students who then immediately turned around and did participate in the sacrament and offering communion to all of us.
That was awesome.
And I think sometimes we mistakenly have the idea that like confirmation is like you check it off and then you're done. And so to have this conversation of, so for you too, what does love require of you? Like, what are you going to do next? This is the faith that you have chosen. So what does it require of you to love? And I just think that's a really great kind of starting point it's an easy and a tough question because it can take us to some tough places.
For sure.
But it's an easy question to ask. And I think often we can come up with the answer relatively quickly. Mm-hmm. It may be harder to enact the answer.
Yep.
But we usually know what love would require of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a youth pastor when I was in youth ministry, when I was a youth, and I remember, and I think I even said it, but I remember one time he said, if you want your life to be an adventure, just go love people. Yeah, and like that really stuck with me. Yeah, and it was, and like, you know, it's like a teenager, you want life to be fun and exciting and adventureful. Yeah. And so when he said that, it really marked me thinking, ooh, what's that all about? And it's true, like when love becomes sort of the leading, guiding force for us, how that really does invite us into new relationships and new spaces. It opens us up. It just sort of forces us to have an open posture to the world. And, you know, I hope our confirmation students, I hope that sticks with them. Yeah. I hope that question really does. I was also, yesterday we were at a birthday party for Miley, not for Miley, but one of Miley's friends. And this child's grandparent owns a bakery. And so they were having like a party at this bakery. And so we were fun. I know, it was super cool. It was a lot of fun. And we were like back in the kitchen area. And I noticed they had hanging on their wall, like on the way out, something that just said, I can't remember exactly how it said it, but it was something along the lines of "Be kind today." And I just thought, what would it mean to sort of have "What does love require me?" in that setting? To that question just sort of hanging there, you know, and just thinking the way you interact with people, and because sometimes people are nice and sometimes they're hard and sometimes they're all sorts of different things. So it's a question that it's meant a lot to me, and I'm excited that hopefully it will resonate with us as a church community too. Yeah. And we have this beautiful big love mural that hangs out in our courtyard. Yeah. So that's cool.
I feel like we have a desire as a church family to align ourselves with the idea of actively loving.
Absolutely.
And so moving even further into that, I think is... I will confess that what I thought of in terms of like personally is, you know, so Samuel is 2, which means he has this internal switch, like a light switch, where he goes from totally fine, normal human to tantrum throwing. I don't want to say monster because my child's not a monster, but also
a good sized meltdown.
Yeah. I mean, it gets bad. Yeah. Fast. Tears. And now we're in the lovely stage of throwing ourselves on the ground from time to time. And he's not super, I mean, he's already over 3 feet tall at 2 years old. So, like, he's a pretty good sized kid. And honestly, he keeps kicking me and it hurts. And so, and also it hurts my feelings. And we had one of those kind of big meltdowns. And now I don't even remember what sparked it. Yeah. This on Saturday. And we were trying to clean and like get stuff done. And I had to take a deep breath. And you know how like they one of the things you learn like when working with like littles is to tell them how to take a deep breath. Yeah. So I said out loud, because I'm trying to parent myself in this moment. Yeah. Smell the flower. So you take a deep breath in through your nose and blow out the candle. So I blew it out and I did it again. And Sammy's like looking at me like I'm a crazy person, which is fair. And I was like, Sammy's turn. So then he did it. And like I got down on his level and we fixed it. It was still ridiculous. What I'm learning from that is that love requires a lot more patience. Yeah. And some of that, in order to love my kid well, means like having to love myself for a minute so that I can care for him the way I want to. And the truth is that applies to a lot of people that I like end up being fortunate enough to spend time to. Everybody has a bad day or a bad moment. Everybody has still that switch in them, including me. I threw a full fit this morning because Steven ate muffins that I had intended to feed Sammy all week. I was really mad about it.
That's really funny. Yeah.
Like I had like just enough muffins, like the
yeah.
little mini ones,
Yeah.
so that I wouldn't have to like make Samuel breakfast all week, and he ate 2 of them. And I was so mad. I was heated.
Yeah.
And like to the point where like when he left, I said, "I love you, but I'm still mad." So, which is so silly, right?
Yeah.
But like we all still have that switch to have, and so to like, for me at least right now, in just super practical ways.
Yeah.
What does love require of me? A couple of deep breaths and a little bit of extra patience so that I can actually interact in a way that's loving. Not just with my toddler. Let's be real. There's no such thing as like real adults. We're all just like bigger kids. Like we all still have that mix of stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But like everybody, and listen, stuff's just going to get more difficult in the next few months. So practicing now for how we want to care for one another is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, practicing. So you smell the flower, like so deep, and you blow out the candle.
That's good. I like it. Yeah.
It's just a small little thing, but maybe it gives us just enough of a pause to be able to interact with love as opposed to react.
Yeah. I like it.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, we have lots of opportunities coming up for us to practice how to love one another well. Do you like that segue into the promo section of our podcast?
Yeah.
So we have got mission trips coming up for this summer for our junior high and high school students. We've got Bridge, which is happening May 30th through June 2nd. And then Army, which is July 7th through the 13th. That's like, I'm pretty sure that's right.
As long as you get the start date.
Yeah, it's definitely July 7th.
Okay.
And so all those registrations are online, and you can get to all of those. And then also VBS, obviously, starts June 24th.
Woohoo!
Are you so excited?
Yeah, I am.
We've got a meeting. So the main thing about VBS is like, I think we're going to have more kids signed up this year than we had last year, which means we need even more volunteers.
We need
and I know we need everybody to show up. So we are deep in the planning stages of it. We need people to kind of take on some leadership positions and, station leaders, that kinds of things. Yeah. So we're having a meeting, not this Sunday, but the next, April 21st, right after worship. We're going to have it in the fellowship hall. We'll have some food for you. It will not be a long meeting. I know people have things to do. #take a nap on Sunday. Sunday naps are the best. I don't want to interrupt that, but I do want us to be ready for VBS.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Be sure you can go and register your kids for VBS, and you can sign yourself up to be a volunteer for VBS on our website at katyfirst.org. So I know there's a lot of things that are coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about all of them.
Absolutely.
And excited to see what we look like as a church family come August. Ooh. As we continue to grow in love. I know, it's going to be so good. So we thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you have found some inspiration and encouragement for yourself and for your family. We want you to know that in the middle of your ordinary, messy life, whatever that looks like for you right now, that you are not alone, you are doing a good job, and you are so, so loved.
And of course, we'd love to see you on Sunday. We'll be in the second week of 1 John. I honestly don't remember what we're talking about, but something to do with love, so I can guarantee that.
So honest.
Yeah. Until then, have a great week.
You'll remember by next Sunday, right? Like this coming
Sunday. Yeah, I'll get there.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Have a great week.
Eventually.
Sorry, I totally.
That's going to be the best ending.